Avoidants often have exes that just won't go away. There always seems to be an ex or two or three in the picture. This is because severe avoidants feel comfort in having available options. They don't like to slam the door on anybody. They always have a different source that they can go to get that external validation. They don't know how to internally validate themselves, so they like to be able to have options to get that external validation. Plus, the ex is always a backup plan if the relationship they're currently in should fail. Plus, remaining in constant communication, spending time with an ex, it helps create emotional distance between themselves and their partner. When they are spending time and emotional energy with somebody who they were previously in a relationship with, it's hard to form true emotional intimacy with the partner that they're currently with. And when you assert a boundary, when you tell the avoidant that you're not comfortable with them being friends with their ex, they will get annoyed at you. They will accuse you of trying to control them, that you are being smothering, that you are being needy, and that you are being anxious, and that you are the problem. However, it is perfectly okay to have healthy boundaries. Your boundaries are your limits. Your limits of what you want, don't want, will tolerate, not tolerate, and put up with and not put up with in a relationship. Your boundaries are what works for you. And don't let anybody tell you that your boundaries are wrong. When the avoidant tries to tell you that your boundaries are wrong when you bring up the ex that's still in the picture, they are gaslighting you. They are trying to take the attention off of them so they can avoid accountability and plant the seeds of doubt in your mind so you doubt yourself and you doubt your perception of reality. This way, they are able to escape accountability. That's why gaslighters gaslight. And the reaction that an avoidant will typically give when you bring up the ex that's in the picture is to gaslight you, is to make it seem like what they're doing is perfectly acceptable and you having a problem with it, well, that makes you insecure. Reality is that when emotional intimacy forms too deeply between yourself and the avoidant, they can shut down and run away from the relationship. And when they do have an ex in the picture, it's very common for them to run back to an ex for comfort, for validation. And the more toxic the ex is, the more likely that this ex is remaining in the picture. And this is because severe avoidants actually find a comfort in toxicity. It's familiar to them. There's a comfort in familiarity. It goes back to childhood when they were emotionally neglected by their parents or caretakers. And if they are a fearful avoidant, they often experience some sort of emotional or physical abuse as well. So a toxic environment is quite familiar to them. Avoidants also have a very low self-esteem. They have a lack of self-worth. And the toxic ex, well, that's what they deserve. In their own mind, a healthy, loving partner in the mind of the avoidant is better than they deserve. Plus, there's an unspoken pressure to be emotionally vulnerable for a healthy partner, a loving partner, because the loving partner is emotionally vulnerable and available for the avoidant. That makes them feel unsafe. But the toxic partner, well, they're emotionally unavailable as well. So there's no pressure for the avoidant to be emotionally available or vulnerable for the toxic partner. So the toxic partner is a safe option. Now, if your avoidant ex is stringing you along and constantly throwing you breadcrumbs, you might be the ex that's still in the picture for the avoidant's next partner. They don't like to slam that door. Available options for validation really makes the avoidant feel better about themselves. But this is a reflection of a person with a low self-esteem, a person that is so deeply insecure that they don't consider how their behavior actually impacts their partner. They don't consider how the feelings of their partner can be affected by keeping the ex constantly in the picture. The avoidant is only thinking of themselves and their immediate gratification and their own immediate validation. It is very selfish behavior, and it's even more so selfish when you assert a boundary and they gaslight you and try to make it seem like you're the problem. Never accept that kind of behavior. Hold your boundaries, because your boundaries are your sword and shield. They are how you protect yourself. They are how you maintain your sense of self. Because when you hold a boundary, you know you have your own back and you can rely on yourself. And it also sends the message to your partner that it's not okay to treat you this way. You deserve better than having your boundaries violated and being gaslit.